Hello friends, my name's Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo Concept. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 4 and in today's episode we're going to be getting into the single race mode because as you may notice on the game status screen there are some more prize cars. There's one with a green crest, there's one with a red crest. You unlock these by completing the track in the quick race mode, and well, for today of course we are going to go ahead and do that. We are going to start at the professional level because we unlock both prize cars at the same time if we do professional level, so we get normal and the other vehicles. So let's head into Midfield Raceway. Before we do, I may as well just sort of show off the cars that we have in here. So we have the Ford Ka, the Honda Jazz, Hyundai Coupe, the Mazda 6, which is a pretty cool car, the Lexus IS300. Is this the wagon? Yes, it is the wagon. Awesome. We have the Nissan Primera, the Toyota Vilis, the Mitsubishi Airtrack Turbo, Lexus SC430, Infiniti G35 Saloon, Skyline 300 GT. Actually, is that the Saloon? Actually, yeah, it is. They're both the same car. There is the 2004 Civic Type R, sorry. Again, 2003 Integra Type R, Lancia Evo 7, Honda S2000, Nissan Skyline GTR M-Spec, the Subaru WRX Pro Drive, which is awesome, the RX-7 Type R, the RX-7 Bathurst R, and the Corvette Z06. If we go into new cars for Europe, we have the Golf GTI, the Lupo GTI, Renault Clio Sport, Mercedes SL500, Lotus Elise, Type 72, the Vauxhall VX220, the Jaguar S-Type R, Audi RS4, Audi RS6, Aston Martin Vanquish, Rough RGT, and the TVR Tuscan Speed 6, which comes in all sorts of weird and fancy colours. There's also concept cars, which is sort of what I assume everyone's interested in. In this game there is the Daihatsu Copen, the Nissan MM, the Dome Zero, the Hyundai HCD6, the CZ3 Tarmac, the Toyota RSC, the Nissan 350Z, which I believe that was actually in Gran Turismo 3, but this is just like a slightly updated model of it, I guess. There is the ASL thing, the Infiniti FX45, the RX-8. This is not the concept car that was in Gran Turismo 3, this is actually a follow-up to that concept car, so this one is more near a completion. You can tell because it's basically got the rear end of the production RX-8, but it's got a slightly different front end. There is the GTR Gran Turismo car, the Viper concept car, the Zonda S, and the Cadillac CN. There is also dream cars, which are the racing cars essentially. So there's the Mazda 6, the NSX-R LM Edition, the GTR LM Edition, and the 350Z LM Edition. And finally there is also the racing cars, and these are mostly just carry-ons from Gran Turismo 3. So we have the MMR, the Hyundai Accent rally car, Lancer Evo 7 rally car, Impreza 2001 rally car, 206 rally car, the Lossite NSX, the Atra NSX, the Rayburg NSX, Pennzoil NSX, the Calsonic Skyline, I said NSX for that, I meant GTR, the Zanvi Proto GTR, the Pennzoil Zexel GTR, the Thing Supra, the Castrol Tom Supra, the Esso Supra, the Audi TTR, Ford Falcon Australian V8 supercar thing, and the Corvette C5R. So anyways, where do we want to go? Considering we are going to Midfield Raceway, I think I'm going to use the... I want to use this Pro Drive Subaru because I really like the look of it. So yeah, let's get into this racing. So I think for the purposes of these episodes, I could do the quick race all in like one massive long episode, but it would take forever. So I think what I'm going to do is in each episode I'm going to start on the... I'm going to do the sort of the normal and reverse courses both in one go. So yeah, that's sort of my plan. Anyways, I was speaking about this in an earlier episode. As you can actually see now, there are a bunch of cars here which you can't actually get in the game. These are all carry-ons from Gran Turismo 3. So while you can't drive them, the AI can, which, I mean, it makes the AI field a little bit more competitive and a little bit more interesting, because it's not just the cars that you see in this game. And it also actually means that you can kind of compare these concept cars and so on to the sort of cars which they would be going against that are currently on the market, which is pretty cool. This Subaru is actually really nice to drive, apparently, even though I do go on the grass a bit there, but then again, this is a rally car, so I think ProDrive's a rally team, actually, or it could be a F1 team, I don't remember. Either way, this car is basically, in my opinion, this is how a Subaru should look. It's blue, it's got a big wing. I really love the bug eye Imprezas. They're probably my favourite of all the Imprezas, to be honest with you. Just something about the way they look, I really like them. I know people think they're sort of like the ugly duckling of the Impreza family, but I think from the rear they're by far and away the best looking Imprezas. And yeah, from the front they just look kind of kooky, and I kind of like that about them. But yeah, anyways, the Subaru was pretty good to drive. Those cars from GT3. I assume if you stick some form of Game Shark or Action Replay into this, which I believe there's Action Replay codes for Gran Turismo Concept. Oh, lordy loud, that was not a good idea. I assume there would probably be a way to be able to acquire those vehicles and actually drive them, considering, again, this is just Gran Turismo 3. It's basically been built on top of Gran Turismo 3, so yeah, I assume you'd probably be able to drive them cars if you really wanted to. Not that there would be really much purpose, considering you could just drive them in Gran Turismo 3, so but yeah, anyways, they're pretty cool. The actual, I do love Midfield Raceway. I've spoken about this track before. I'm not a fan of the long tracks, you know, I prefer my shorter tracks, and Midfield Raceway is definitely one of those ones that I really like. Just because it's kind of simplistic, but it's very difficult to actually master this track. There is definitely a few corners in there which really test you as a driver. For example, this section down here is actually relatively difficult for the most part, and indeed I managed to cock it up a bit by going on the grass, but there you go. As far as racing at professional level compared to normal level, honestly I don't really know much of the difference. Because I've never raced this game on normal road, or normal difficulty. I'm assuming one of the caveats to racing on normal difficulty would be that the races are slightly shorter. I would assume it's a 2-lap race over a 3-lap race. But honestly, I can only really picture it changing the competition slightly. That's really all I can think of that it would actually change, considering there's no real difficulty options when it comes to Gran Turismo. The cars would just do whatever they do, really, which is something kind of cool about Gran Turismo, I guess. You can't really tune, you know, you've got to sort of adapt with the game, and I mean that's maybe one of the reasons people kind of like the Gran Turismo series, is it doesn't particularly hold your hand that well, because it basically says to you, right, you know, there's no difficulty options for the AI. If you want to, you know, be good at this game, you really need to, you know, if you want to win this race, you need to become better at the game, essentially. Well, as Forza, it's like, yeah, you can turn your difficulty settings down and whatnot. I personally think both systems work really well. You know, a game that teaches you to get good is obviously a great thing. However, you know, Forza is a bit more of a, I don't want to call it a more casual experience, but I mean, for sort of first-time players and stuff, I guess it is, and then you can sort of tune stuff from there as well. But either way, we are going to win this race pretty convincingly. This Subaru is very good to drive, despite my terrible driving probably saying otherwise. That was our quickest lap, because it was one of the only ones that I didn't actually go off the track, which is great. Anyways, as you can see there, we beat the rest of the cars, we get first place, we get a pretty looking trophy, and we will receive a prize after this session. So let's go and have a look at what our 2 prize cars will be, because of course we'll get one for normal level and the professional level as well. Anyways, for completing this on normal level, we get what looks to be a Mini Cooper of some description. I'm assuming it's the S model. Indeed it is, a Mini Cooper S, there we go. And for completing this on the professional level, we get a Spiker by the looks of it. I didn't actually think Spiker was in this game, but they are indeed. There we go. We get a Spiker C8, I believe that is. Don't really know my Spikers too well, to be perfectly honest. All I know is Spikers are very, very cool looking cars, if not the best to drive. Anyways, there we go. We've got all the prizes from Midfield now, which is pretty cool. And let's quickly head back into here, where we are now going to do Midfield Reverse, because we may as well sort of get that out of the way as well. Okay, right, Midfield Raceway. What are we going to use? I know we'll need something with a bit of straight line speed, considering that it is a track pretty dependent on straight line speed when it's going in reverse. I don't really know. What do we want to use? Skyline, RX-7. Could go with that, actually. I mean, are those two exactly the same? They are indeed. I mean, let's use this and see how well we do here. Hopefully it goes pretty well. Again, Midfield and Reverse is a bit of a different track to when it's going around sort of the normal way. You need a lot more straight line speed when it's going in reverse, because the actual sort of where the straights are a little bit different. There we go. I guess that's what I'm sort of trying to get at. So anyways, didn't really look at the field all that much. By the looks of it though, the cars are wandering away, which is excellent. So yeah, on a professional level, I do think the sorts of actual cars the game sends are a little bit sort of, what's the word, better. So anyways, we're past an RS4, there is a Supra, there's a Porsche roof Boxster thing, there's a Subaru, and there is an NSX. I think the roof could be the one to watch out for in this race, considering that car will probably have a lot more straight line speed than anything else here. Sure, the Subaru is... Oop. There we go. The Subaru is going to be relatively quick. I mean the NSX as well. And then again, NSXs aren't all that quick. They're very, very good through the corners, don't get me wrong, but they're not ridiculously quick. So, actually, by the looks of it, we should do relatively okay. The RX-7 is actually a damn nice handling car, which is always a good thing. Also, straight line speed's relatively good. Hopefully don't get pushed off the track by the Subaru. I can just about take that flat out. Alright, let's get the NSX on the braking. There we go. Are we round? We are indeed. Right. Yeah, again, as you can see, some more Gran Turismo 3 cars. In this race, you've got the roof, you've got the NSX, the Subaru Impreza without the massive wang on it. Yeah, they're pretty cool cars. Anyways, the Mazda RX-7. This is the Spirit R model, and probably one of my favourites of the RX range, as in my all-time RX range, because I really love the Spirit R. I think they got this car pretty much spot on. You know, the FD RX-7, I think it's one of those cars which look a lot better when it has a spoiler on it and some bodywork trim. When it doesn't, it looks a little bit weird. I guess it's kind of like, for me at least, a Toyota Supra in that regard, i.e. I think a Supra with like some small little body alterations looks a lot better than the standard car does, because the actual standard car itself has a little bit of strange sort of profile. It has the high rear end and so on. It does look a little bit odd. The RX-7 is also one of those cars for me, but I think the Spirit R definitely sort of remedies the stuff. It gives you that sort of Subaru-esque wing on the back, which looks really nice. To be honest with you, I'm still a fan of the RX-8s. I really like the RX-8s. I love RX-7s as well. I love anything that basically has a rotary engine in it, because, oh lord, that's not particularly what I wanted to do around there. But yeah, I kind of love cars that have the rotary engines and so on, because they're just very fascinating and they're very much sort of a rare breed. I'm going to bounce off the Porsche, sorry, the roof, and see if we can get any further down here. The roof's going to try and get me down this section, but I am a bit more brave when it comes to my braking points, and I kind of know the limit. That section's very fun in sort of this kind of car. where, you know, if you've got a decent amount of grip and decent brakes, that section is definitely very, very, very fun to cope with. But yeah, Spirit are probably my favourite the RX range. I really like the RX-8s, more specifically like just the sort of standard pre-facelift RX-8s are pretty cool. The facelifted RX-8s are cool. Yeah, I do like the idea of a rotary engine car. I just don't, you know, there are quite a bit of maintenance and there's some other kind of weird kinks that go with a rotary engine, so I don't know if I'd ever own a car with a rotary engine per se, but they are definitely cool vehicles nonetheless. And of course the RX-7 is very much sought after these days, and I assume the Spirit R is probably one of the more sought after models. Because I think this was a kind of rare, this is definitely a last edition model, I guess it was a kind of rare one, there we go, I can speak occasionally. Anyways, by the looks of it, we are going to win this race by quite a decent margin as well. The RX-7 is a lot better than I was expecting it to be. When I saw that field, admittedly, I was a little bit worried because there are some cars pushing over 400 horsepower in there, but apparently no. We even beat the NSX by over 3 seconds, which is very good. Anyways, we get a trophy, of course we do, and we will receive a prize after this session. Let's go and find out what our prize cards for this session might be. We are going to get a car for the normal prize, is going to be a Supra race car by the looks of it, of some description. It is indeed a Supra race car. Oh, it's the one of the Castrol models, I'm not sure. And for the other version, can't remember what this is, professional prize, we get a GTR concept car. Okay, I thought we already had that, but nope, apparently we've only just got it, which is kind of cool. I will definitely take that nonetheless. Anyways, as you can see, that is Midfield Raceway complete. We actually have all the prize cars for Midfield, which is pretty awesome. Anyways, friends, that is going to be it for today's episode of the Gran Turismo Concept Let's Play. I do hope you've enjoyed. And in the next episode, we'll be taking a look at Tokyo R246, so make sure you're there for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been the Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.